Hey everybody, it is Thursday night. Time for another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Vegas Jay, here in very hot Las Vegas. How is everybody doing tonight? And with me is my producer and part-time co-host, Debbie, up in Northern Cali. Hi, Debbie. How are you?
Hi. Yeah, it's also hot here too. I'm not used to this weather yet. So.
I know. All suddenly it went from this like, hey, it's spring to holy shit, it's hot. So that was a quick turnaround. All right, let's get right to our first segment, as we always do. Time for Jay's Tiki Talk, where each week I match a different rum and a different mug to our guest. And our guest this week is Thomas Tucker. Hello, Tom. How are you?
Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hello.
What is going on? What is happening where you're at, Tom?
Oh, not too much. Just hot sunshine and humidity.
Yeah, you have the joy of humidity being on the East Coast. So, yeah, we don't have that here. So, I forgot I took a little picture for this segment to give people a little education. So, hold on a quick second.
Right.
There we go. All right, so tonight, the mug I'm drinking out of is from a place called Shipwreck Kelly's that was in Waikiki. Now, Tom used to live in Hawaii, did live on the Big Island. And as you can see, there's not a lot of definition to this mug. And you would think, if you saw this, most people would think rudimentary, probably homemade, wouldn't pick it up. And then this is what the bottom looks like. And most people would think, oh, it says B Waikiki, but that does not say B. So get your pen and paper out. This is going to be your big tiki lesson of the week.
And I still can't remember what it is.
That is actually two P's stacked together, and it stands for Polynesian Pottery. And they made a lot of these cool mugs, which some people, like I said, would say maybe rudimentary homemade, but they made a lot of them in Honolulu, and they made a lot of them for down the Beachcomber, and they're highly collectible. So if you don't know what you got, but you see this, what looks like a P, a B with a long tail, it's actually two P's, make sure to pick it up. Now, tonight we have Thomas Tucker, two T's, as our guest. So I'm drinking Thomas 2 rum. Two T's.
Good job.
There we go.
Good job.
I kind of matched it up. And it's from Newport, Rhode Island. Tom's in Maryland, so East Coast. See? I kind of put it together.
Good job. Good job. And I'm drinking some white wine out of my Smuggler Cove Tiki mug. I love this one. I love all that carving on the back of it.
I think it's illegal to drink wine out of a tiki mug. I'm pretty sure that is on the law books in California.
So sue me.
All right, I'll sue you. Do you have any cocktails with us tonight, Tom?
I do not. I just finished a big cup of coffee before the show started.
Geez. Well, you're going the other way. We're like, woo.
Good idea.
All right, so Tom, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We'll get to our segments, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, yes.
All righty, so our first segment after Tiki Time is...
Nice shirt, Jason.
Oh, thanks. I'll talk about that in a second. Time for our scores of the week, where Debbie and I share with you the cool things we sold. These are BOLOs. Be on the lookout. Things you should be hunting for in the thrift store. You're up, Deb.
Okay. I paid $5.99 for this shirt at one of my little favorite honey holes down in by the beach. And we had it listed about maybe 2 months. And then a guy messaged me and said, I need this shirt right away. I'm leaving on Saturday. So I met him at the next town over, and he was ecstatic. He even told me I was a lifesaver for him. So I don't know, maybe he's going to a parade somewhere to wear it, but I fell in love with this shirt. I almost wanted to keep it. So that sold for $24.99.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's a pretty badass shirt.
I was so happy when he shook my hand, he was so happy. It made me, this is what I love about eBay. One of the things about selling on eBay is bringing unique items together with somebody who wants it so badly. And then I found this. I've had this several years. I didn't really know you know, what it was worth, what to do with it. It was $6.99. I even tried it on auction and it didn't sell. Finally sold for $29.99 because I know people say older Mac products do really well. And it sat around for a while, but the pin is missing. So that could be why. So finally, I was happy that that sold.
But so cool. I mean, that is so old and you still got 29 bucks for it. I love it.
I know. Oh, my face.
Wait, you're selling Tiki mugs too? What?
Of course. I'm a good student. I learned what you taught us about drinking for free. Yeah, the Jungle Bird is a newer, I think it's going on its second year now in Sacramento. And my husband and I were at our niece's cheer competition one day. We had some time to kill. And he goes, let's go to Jungle Bird. So I stocked up on these mugs and I sold this one for $119. And it's really cool. And, you know, look at this. See how close the carving is? For some reason, I love these mugs. So of course, I'm keeping a Jungle Bird for my own collection.
Very good.
Yes, love it.
Ooh, look at all these books.
Yes, people think that, you know, people aren't going to buy an encyclopedia set or a Britannica set. This was from 1977 and it had a few little flaws in it. This is a consignment for one of my clients. And by the time I got the 3 boxes packed up, it was close to 90 pounds. So that wasn't any fun, but sold it for 250 bucks.
Doesn't sound like fun.
And it has to be when my husband's back's out right now. I'm like, oh, great. I get to do this all by myself.
All you, Deb. It's all you.
Yeah. So do check for encyclopedia sets.
Oh, yeah. All right. So funny enough, I just took pictures of another set of Pay by Numbers this week that were framed the exact same way. Not the same pictures, but framed the exact same way. And I touched these, Debbie, because I'm vending at a Tiki event in a few weeks. And I thought, oh, I'll probably remove these from eBay and I'll take them to the event because they've been up for a while. And I got an offer for 60 bucks. And I bought these. I bought these for 10 bucks at a dusty flea market outside of Palm Springs in a little shitty town. So
wow, that's a great.
I was happy to get those. And for those of you in the Secret Beach, I just did a how-to video on how to ship 2 things like that. So make sure if you have not watched that video in the Secret Beach, watch it. If you don't know Torrid is the plus size that used to be connected with Hot Topic. I don't think they are anymore. But they make plus size lingerie and stuff. So this was a plus size 4 that I picked up for $4 and I sold for 26 bucks. Nice. And it sold quick. I think we put this up like a week ago. Sold really quick.
Nice. It's gorgeous.
And one night I was shopping at my new favorite store, Buffalo Exchange. And I was in L.A. And it was a night I bumped into Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. Oh. And this jacket from the movie Nightbreed was hanging on the rack for 25 bucks. I was expecting to get 100, 125, but I finally got an offer of 75. It'd been up for about 4 months. And I'm like, 25 to 75. Cool. It's been a slowish week because it always is this time of year. So heck yeah, I'll take a $75 offer and away it goes.
Good job.
And this was my fun score of the week because no one would pay attention to this shirt in the store. It's a size medium. It was vintage, made in the USA, 50-50, 50 cotton, 50 poly. That, you know, mark this down. People look for these old 50-50 shirts, but this one had some serious gay interest in it with the naked cowboy or the topless cowboy. Or actually, I just realized, no, he's naked.
Oh my.
I thought he had pants on until this second.
You could have got more money for it.
Yeah, well, stay tuned for my duds because you might see this again real quick because I think, yeah. But I got 50 bucks for a $2 t-shirt.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I have a 5th one tonight because I always have good CDs. So this Chipmunks Sings the Beatles, I picked up new and sealed in L.A. at a record store for $3.99 and sold it on Amazon for 50 bucks plus 15 shipping for priority mail. So if you're still not looking at CDs, you are leaving so much money behind. But not everything can be scores. Sometimes we have duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours. This segment is brought to you by WorthPoint. If we had been using WorthPoint, we probably wouldn't have had these duds. Now, Debbie and I, for the first time ever, had problem pulling duds out. I didn't have a robust week, but all my sales were, for the most part, pretty good.
Yeah, I don't really seem to have a lot of duds. Maybe I just don't bother to list them. This is only a dud because a lady bought it for her husband, and he didn't like that the pocket is on the front. And so it came back. And, you know, of course, I gave her $24.99 back. So I ate a couple dollars shipping in this. and it's relisted up again. We'll see if maybe there's somebody out there that likes a pocket on the front, because this is a gorgeous graphic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, there it is, and he just didn't like it on the front. I guess needs somebody that smokes cigarettes so they could put their Marlboros in there.
Do you have you ever had the words heavy metal in the title, like it says on the shirt?
Oh no!
So I would remove front back graphics and I put in heavy metal.
Okay.
Give that a whirl, Deb.
I will. And then these, they sold for a best offer of $15. I thought they would sell more because they're older and they're vintage. They did have a few tiny little stains on them, but I only paid $1.99 for them. So,
yeah,
they sat around a while, but.
Yeah, but they're gone. That's always good. All right. So, I always show my good CDs, and this one wasn't terrible, but I did pay $5. At the time I paid $5. I think I bought it for myself to listen to. It's got some devils and some tikis and some booby girls, and I thought I'd like it. And it's not bad, but it wasn't good enough to keep. I only paid $5. Sold it for $9.74, so I made $1 or $2 after everything smoke clears. And back to my score, which I also think is my dud. It was listed for less than 24 hours. Until today, I didn't realize he was bottomless too. And, with it being Gay Pride Month, and this was a vintage 80s shirt in such great condition, I think I blew it on the price. I think it should have been $100, and I should have shot for 75.
Whoa, yeah, probably.
Bareback rider, and that's a term in the gay community. I won't tell you what it means, but you can Google it later. Just do it when other eyes are watching. So I think I blew it. With everything there, it should have been a much more expensive shirt. So although it was a good return, I ain't complaining about the nice return, $2 to $50. It should have been $2 to $75 or $100. I kind of blew it. So whoops.
Just think there's a happy buyer out there somewhere wearing this.
Oh, absolutely.
You got a good
All right, now it's time for where in the world did our stuff go? Now, oddly enough, Debbie sold nothing international this week. So Debbie can't play, but I did. And so before I show you, I wanted to prep you where it went. It went to a town in China. And Debbie, do you know what someone in China, a little town in China needs? In 2018? Yep.
A bareback rider t-shirt?
No, you guessed it. Yep. 2 Wham cassettes.
Oh.
So Shenyang needed 2 Wham cassettes, and they went out this morning. So
nice.
Look, list everything, list it worldwide. You never know when someone in Shenyang is like, you know what I need today? I need 2 Wham cassettes.
Well, your co-host has a confession to make because I'm not shipping to China. So I guess I better start, huh?
Yeah. And funny, we had to have a conversation because for a while, eBay wouldn't let him complete the transaction. And I'm like, no, man, my stuff's wide open. Anyone can buy it. And it said China and my cell too. And then it just went through.
Oh,
and so
good.
He was all excited. He asked me to wrap it with extra bubble and stuff. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, those are cute guys. I can see why someone would want them.
We didn't plan this, but think about this, Deb. It is Gay Pride Month. You had that T-shirt. I had a T-shirt. Now, Wham! We were kind of theming the show out by accident. Really, we weren't really thinking about that.
Right. And what is that? Is it just once a year in June? Is Gay Pride Month?
Yeah.
I think it's just a year. Yeah. So we need to look for next year.
Yeah, we need to think ahead.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for our Thrifty tip of the week. Little tips and tricks while you're in the thrift store to hopefully help you out while you're thrifting. This segment is brought to you by Stamps.com. Postage on demand. Print your postage and shipping labels in seconds right from your own home. I use stamps almost every single day. So here's a little graphic I made up for you.
Oh, thanks. My tip is move beyond just the thrift stores and the used items. When you're grocery shopping, I know some of the stores I go to, they have a clearance section in the back, and there may be items there that you could sell on eBay. And when you're in clothing stores, different seasons, because even though we're starting to get warm weather, pretty soon back to school clothes are coming in and the summer stuff's going to be gone or being clearance. So look for items like that to sell too. Start looking for new things. And then as the end of the season, when we're going into winter here, some parts of the world are going into summer. So shop ahead for clothes. I mean, sometimes I go into clothing stores and they have things marked 75% off the clearance. So you can really pick up items. So think outside the box and look, new grocery stores, toy stores, anywhere that you're shopping for your normal items, you might find some retail arbitrage to flip on eBay.
There are 2 things I hit in the grocery store every time I go in, Deb. The first one is video poker, because I live in Vegas. And the second one is the one aisle has a clearance section right at the end. So I'm always looking for stuff either that we normally consume or some things to flip. So if I'm just in for one thing, I play a quick 20 bucks, and then I go check the clearance section. Always.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You never know what you're going to find.
All right. My little tip is mainly for Vegas people, just in case you don't know. But savers now through the rest of summer, and maybe they'll continue, but at least through like September, every Monday in Las Vegas, everything is 50% off. Now, they're doing that in Phoenix, so that applies to you Phoenicians too. And when I was in Phoenix teaching a class, they told me that this was coming before it actually showed up. I think it happens in Cleveland. Not all markets are the same, but if you are in the Vegas area and for sure the Phoenix area, every single Monday is 50% off everything. So that is a good time to stock up on good things to flip. All right, John, it's time for... Hello? There we go. You have got to be shipping me, where Debbie and I will give you little tips and tricks, what to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping. Here, I got you a little graphic.
Oh, yay. Well, I have my own too.
I know.
Here.
I'll get you up on the screen now.
I know. Do not use boxes that have alcohol on the outside of them to ship your items. Now, you can cover everything with tape if you want, and there's even paint that you can paint over boxes, but I would never go to that extreme. I would just not use the box. So be very, very careful, because you can't ship these through the post office. And also, empty boxes that batteries came in, because I go in the 99-cent store a lot, and they have these nice little boxes, but it's got battery information all over. We can't use those either. So be very careful. If you do need to use one of these, that you mark everything out. I bought a roll of nice brown tape at U-Haul one day when I was in there. It's about that wide, and it's nice strong tape. So whenever I need to cross anything out on a box, I put that tape on it, and then I put my eBay tape over the top of it too.
Heather in the chat said, "Is this Jason's garage?" No, my garage.
No, not with us. No, it would be all rum.
All right, so here's my shipping tip, and this is from a receiving end. This has happened to me more than once, and it happened this week. So I hope I'm not the only moron that does this. So Tiki Tony is a friend of mine who makes tiki mugs, and this is his newest mug. And so I ordered it in October, and I got it in the mail this week. Okay. And with this mug came this piece of art that goes with the mug.
Nice.
On the back is a recipe for a cocktail. And then there is an enamel pin. I forgot to pull the enamel pin out. So here's my tip. When you get packages in the mail, make sure to clear out all the products of the package. So once I took out this and the mug, I dumped the peanuts into my peanut bin back there. So today, when I was dumping the peanuts into a box of shipped mugs to the UK, the pin fell out of the peanuts. I wasn't even paying attention. I blew it. And that is not the first time I have found things that I have paid for in a box that I had already put away to ship, use the box to ship. So always make sure you are checking every inch of your box before you decide that it's, going to the shipping pile.
Yeah, because also your seller might give you a little bonus that you're not even expecting. So you're not even thinking to look for it. Sometimes they put little gifts in. With my Jungle Bird mug that we shipped, I found some Swizzler sticks that I got from there too. So I stuck one in as a bonus for him. So yeah, just because you're not expecting it to be there, that might be a surprise. So yeah.
And it happens to everybody. I was at my eye doctor's 3-4 months ago for my checkup, and they had these nice small boxes. I'm like, what are you doing with those? Oh, we're throwing them away. Can I have them? I could use those. They're like, sure. So I get them home, and I'm just putting them away in my box closet. And in one of them, they forgot to empty all the contacts out of them.
Oh,
but they weren't prescription contacts. They were the fun ones to make your eyes blue. And they were samples, but I'm like, duh. Make sure to clean out your boxes.
Yeah, you never know.
All right, so now it's time for our eBay tip of the week. Things to help you with your eBay business.
Yes. Oh, righty. Our famous, fabulous lifeguard in the Thrifty board talked today about measuring clothes ahead of time, and she uses Post-it notes and then sticks them in the pocket of the jeans. And so I wanted to share, I use the painter's tape because it peels right off of the clothes. And there is a lighter brand that I like to use better that I can actually use an ink pen on. But so I used a Sharpie on this, and it does not come off. If I had Post-it notes, I'd lose them all over the house probably. But this sticks right to the fabric. It won't hurt it. And then when I do a bunch of measuring at one time, I have it right there. I just list it, pull the tape off, and I'm good to go.
Now, if you watched last week, you saw this on one of my scores. And here's my eBay tip of the week. I wanted to tell last week, but I already had one set up. So last week, there was a special on eBay for Father's Day purchasing gifts, and you could get 20% off with a code. Nice. And me and a potential buyer have been going back and forth on this shirt for quite a while. He wouldn't budge from 150, and I wouldn't budge from 200. I had it listed at $300. And he happened to tell me last week, he's like, hey, man, I'm going to offer you that 150 again. It's as much as I can go. And I countered with 200, said, look, it's the only one of 3XL. It's brand new. But I understand, but I'm not going to drop below my thing. Then I remembered, oh my gosh, today is that 20% off. So I messaged him. I go, hey man, if you use this code when you ring out, you'll save $40. So if you can come up to 160 when you ring out, your shirt will only cost you 160 instead of 200. Then we'll both be happy. And he said, hey, thank you very much for that. And he bought the shirt, used the thing to save the $40. He's happy. I'm happy. I got my figure. He got close to his. Happy customer. But I use a tool that eBay didn't really give me as a tool to use as a seller. They're giving to me as a buyer, and I use it for my to become a seller of a $200.
With it, we can't live without.
Yeah, say the internet just said, "Hey, screw you."
And I'm always afraid it's going to be me.
All right, so let me refresh this. I'm sorry about the technical hiccup right there. Of course, we never planned for it, but when it happens, we got to deal with it. And you know, when you're doing live TV, and I'll put the quotes around the TV part. Sometimes
no guarantees.
Yeah, you got to make do with what you got. All right. I think we're going to be back in business here in about 2 shakes. There we are. Cool. Sorry about that, everybody.
Hi. We just took a little break.
Yeah. Took a little siesta right in the middle of the show.
Unplanned.
And our newest segment, as we've been doing for a couple of weeks now, is... our Thrifty Business Viewer Tip of the Week. So Debbie loves going back through the old shows and reading the viewer tips that people have left, because we love everyone who's watching live. So hello to all of you watching live.
Yes,
for those of you who are watching after the fact, we love you just as much. So if you do watch after the fact, make sure to leave a little note down below. Say hi, leave a tip, whatever. Maybe we'll read it on the air. This week's viewer tip comes from Flippin' for Fun.
Hi.
Who says glass can be shattered by vibration. When you stuff it with something, you stop that vibration from occurring. I used to sell glass, and it is standard practice in shipping in packing glass. So what you're saying is, now, because we usually talk about not doing it, when we talk about doing it on thick mugs, not putting something inside, that won't stop anything. But the thin, old cocktail glassware, she's saying vibration will break it. So if you put a little bit of like tissue paper or something inside so it can't vibrate, you got a better chance of it getting to your customer.
It's worth a try, that's for sure.
And yeah, can someone type in the chat if you still see buffering, just to refresh your page? I don't know. YouTube had a hiccup. Some people are back. Some people said they're still seeing buffering. So can someone in the chat just mention that? And then hopefully everything will be okay. All right. And we decided to do a new segment this evening. And I had a sound effect all picked out. And what the heck was it? It was, oh, this. That sounds about right. A little feedback. Talk about feedback and thank you from our customers. Every once in a while, your customer, after they get their product, will actually not only leave you feedback, but they'll send you a little note back through eBay. And it's just so touching when that happens, because you never expect it. You only expect it when people want to do a return or want to complain about something. But oddly enough, Debbie and I both got very nice messages from our buyers this week, and we weren't planning on doing a new segment, but we thought, what the hey, let's do this segment. Yeah. So I'll go first, actually, because mine's all set up. I sold a Yardbirds 3-record set for $100 plus shipping. And, you know, when someone thanks you for selling them a product, that's pretty neat. Thank you for selling me this album. I really enjoyed it. I remember as a kid, in a vintage record store had this, and I wanted to buy it, but it was only at a store display behind the counter, and I haven't seen it again for 20 years. Glad I finally have it in my collection. I left you positive feedback. Thank you again. So that just, you know, made my week.
Oh, yeah.
He thanked me for giving me $90. That's so nice. So if you bought something this week on eBay and you thoroughly enjoyed it, besides leaving the feedback, drop the seller a little note. It'll make their day. And Debbie's is even better.
Yeah, got this message. This is what started this. I told Jason, I go, I got a fabulous message this week. Thanks for the shirt and the refund and the shipping difference. Because what I do is when a buyer pays for shipping, if it's like $2 or more, I refund the difference because maybe I got it in a flat rate padded or a regional A or whatever, but I treat people the way I want to be treated. So I gave him that difference. He said, I really appreciate it. Quick story. I bought the exact shirt in an XL about 10 or so years ago at it was a mall in Hawaii. It's been my favorite Aloha shirt, but I lost some weight and it became too big. I always said, I wish I had this in a large. I've had this on my eBay search for a while. The other day, I added pineapple juice to the query, and there it was. Thank you. So I think we probably paid about $6 for this shirt, and it wasn't listed too long. And my husband was saying, how did we get pineapple juice in the title? That's on the label. So this is a reminder of how important it is, your keywords. He'd been looking for this shirt. When he added the word juice, our shirt popped up because we had the pineapple juice in there. And so it just makes me so happy when somebody gets something from us that they've been looking for.
Yeah, that's awesome. So take the time, like I said, if you're a buyer this week, take the time to drop a note to the seller and make their day. All right. Guess what? Big Daddy's back on expiration date being Thrifty over 50. So yay. Big Daddy will be on. It'll be this Sunday. So mark down your calendar this Sunday, 7 p.m. on the East Coast, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. It'll be a whole hour of Big Daddy and his shipping tips. And funny enough, today, Mom and Dad sold one of them giant Tiki fork and spoon set like you see in the picture here. So Dad had to ship something new and large today. So Mom took all the pictures. So we'll go over how Dad shipped those giant fork and spoon set. And then if you got any questions for Big Daddy, my dad, Regan, stop on Sunday at 7 p.m. East Coast, 4 p.m. West Coast. My friends are having their first Kim and Pam at the Los Angeles San Fernando Valley eBay Meetup this Saturday, June 16th at noon at Lulu's. You can't just show up, but please do them a favor. If you go down below in the description of this show, there is a link to the meetup, RSVP, so they know you're coming because they need to let the restaurant know how many people are showing up by tomorrow. So if you're in the L.A., San Fernando Valley area and would like to meet up with other like-minded eBay sellers and discuss strategies and tips and tricks, or just to get together and kibitz and have fun, you want to check out the L.A. San Fernando Valley eBay Meetup. And it's going to be a blast. It's this Saturday. And sometime in the near future, I will come out and speak at that meetup. Speaking of coming out and speaking, next weekend is my classes in Portland, June 22nd and 23rd. That is Friday and Saturday. Kim, who's in the chat right now, raise your hand, Kim Gordon. How are you? She is helping me with my classes. So Friday is the thrift store class. And what's nice when I have a co-instructor, we can prep sections ahead. So I start the class in one section while I'm doing that. Kim is prepping the dress section. She is finding every good dress in the dress section. Nice. I will then hand the class off to her. She will then talk about all the good dresses that were in that section, give them to the entire class to fill their carts with. While she's doing that, I am prepping the CD section. Then you all come over to me in the CD section. Then she's prepping the shoes. And then I'm prepping the jeans, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until we have conquered the thrift store in 3.5 hours. Fun. We then go off to lunch and discuss everything we found. And then this one, we're also going to go off and have a little bit of a tiki cocktail after lunch. So if you want any more information, again, down below, there is the link to the Portland classes. Now on Saturday is the classroom class where I will be teaching you for about 4.5 hours along with Kim, everything you need to know from start to finish. I'm going to teach you over 60 bolos. Be on the lookout, things you should know. Once you find the good stuff, I'm going to teach you how to take quality photos of it. I'm going to teach you how to take video of it, put video in your listing. I'm going to teach you how to make quality listings. So many people miss so many good steps that help your products be found in the eBay search. I'm going to make sure you're hitting all those products. And then I'm going to teach you all kinds of specialty arbitrage. I'm going to teach you about how to capitalize on when a person's in the news. And just recently, I started adding a workbook to the class because I found people were taking so many notes, they would start to get behind. So what I do is I basically take every slide and give the details of the slide, and then you can write your own notes so you can really keep a nice workbook of everything that you need to know. So if you want to sign up, you can sign up for both classes. If you do both classes, you get a little bit of a discount, or if you want to take just the thrift store class, you can do that, or just take the classroom class. The link is down below. And last but not least, the return to the Las Vegas thrift class on steroids in conjunction with the Ebay Open. It is on July 27th. This is a kick-ass thrift class, my biggest one. Going to have like 60 students. Going to have 6 instructors giving you 2 hours of classroom time. Then we're going to go off into the thrift store, and our 6 instructors will be joined by 5 more. So we're going to have 11 different instructors throughout the thrift store, teaching you every aspect of the thrift store, what to buy, what to skip. It's going to be a big, badass class. It is 2/3 sold out already. Do not miss out. Sign up down below again, and we'll get all the details to you.
I'll be teaching on books. And eBay Open is sold out officially. So
yes, and so Debbie's one of my instructors. There she is right there.
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so let me get Tom up here real quick, and we will get to the most amazing story that you'll ever hear on Thrifty Business. And we've had good ones.
Yeah.
We've had great stories in the past, but this one's pretty damn impressive. So all right, so I'm trying to turn Tom on. I'm going to say I hate YouTube tonight.
Oh, come on, YouTube.
I know I normally love YouTube, but all right. All right, Tom, I think you hear me. I'll text you right now. I want you to leave and come back. It will not let me turn you back on. So, yeah, whenever we had that hiccup, yeah, I guess it decided that it doesn't want me to turn Tom back on. So, good. Tom heard me. So, while we're waiting for Tom to get back in here, any questions? Will you be doing a book of notes for the class in Vegas? Tina wants to know. Yeah, Tina, I will do a fresh book for that class based on the 6. So what happens is we have 6 instructors for 2 hours of classroom time. So each instructor is going to give a 20-minute presentation on their specialty. So Debbie's doing books. My friend Summer's doing Pyrex, and so on and so forth. So we will have a notebook based on each person's 20 minutes. Okay.
Nice.
And then we'll go off into the thrift store. And last year it was so much fun. And, you know, we had a set time and people just kept shopping and having fun, and they were making new friends. It was so awesome. So
don't tell Jason. My husband and I were in the day before, and we found a couple of things. So we just kind of tucked them back. And then I found, because a lot of people fly. So I had found this one little, I think it was golf balls or something. And one of our students was walking around. I went over and it was still there. I pulled it out back. I go, hey, you might want to take these with you. So we do try to really help you find good stuff.
All right. So I'm sorry we had that hiccup tonight. So while we're waiting for Tom to come back, any other questions? Let me see here. Okay, well, that's good. It says you're not the only one YouTube has been messing with lately. Yeah, I mean, you all saw the hiccup happen. It went, you know, everything went haywire for just a split second. But man, you know, it's funny because people have complained in the past, like, why don't you prep this stuff ahead of time? Everything's prepped ahead of time, but you can never plan for a hiccup. And when it does happen, you just got to keep on rolling. One of my early shows, Deb, I started the music, and I'm supposed to click stop screen sharing, and I click stop broadcast.
Oh no.
and the show was over. And so there's like, you know, 150 people in the chat, and all of a sudden the show was gone, and I had to start afresh. It was crazy. Hey, there's Tom. Yay.
Hi, Tom.
All right, now let's
welcome back.
Hey, everybody, welcome Tom Tucker from Maryland, and he's got a little more light on him here because everyone's like, Tom is so dark. Woo, that's too bright. Yeah, too bright. What's happening, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. Trying to get adjusted. Wait a minute. There we go.
Yeah, now we have like this big otherworldly glow. Like Tom's in the middle of Stranger Things now. All right, so Tom's been hanging around my groups for a long, long time.
There we go. Okay.
And Tom sold on eBay in the past. Then there was a hiccup like we had tonight on the show. But like tonight, we got it back. Oh, crap. Talk about a hiccup.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I said Stranger Things, and guess what? The monster sucked him up.
This just might be a longer show tonight, folks.
All right, so let's talk about my shirt. Look, we should all be about recycling. And so I did a new shirt with the help of my friend Kim. Save the planet, thrift and flip. The more things that you take out of the thrift store and you get to the person who it should be with, the less things that go into landfill. Yeah. So new little saying: save the planet, thrift and flip. So
we are doing a good service for the universe.
Oh yeah. And we got eBay Open shirts, and Tom's writing me right now. That's probably not a good sign that Tom's actually writing me right now.
Uh-oh.
This might be the Debbie and Jason show for the next 24 minutes.
Well, we'll read his story off to everybody.
I'll playing the part of Thomas Tucker will be Jason Smith tonight.
Okay, and I'll interview you. Yeah, that's the thing. It's always my fear when I'm live that our Wi-Fi is going to go down. Well, it happened to me a couple weeks ago. Just about a half hour before the show, our whole electricity went out, and I'm in the car charging my laptop, and Jason said, "That means you have no Wi-Fi." I didn't even think about that.
All right, so while we're waiting, someone was asking in the chat about the shirts for eBay Open. They are live on Merch by Amazon right now. The link is in the thrifting board. I'll make sure I get it bumped up to the top here. And sold 30 of them last night. How nice!
Nice.
And so here is the thrifting board shirts for this year.
They're really cool. Oh, I love it.
There we go. So we are one big wave at eBay Open. So we're doing blue shirts. And if you need larger, Amazon goes up to 3XL men's. If you need larger sizes, I also have a link to Teespring where we have the larger sizes. But I got the Kraken on my arm. And of course, we know all about Tiki's and we're the thrifting board. So Kim put everything together. We got a fun little shirt there. So.
And don't wait to order. Last year, our shirts barely came in time because it used to be you could order an Amazon shirt Prime and get it like in 2 or 3 days. They sell a lot now, so order early.
All right, cool. Thomas is back. How are you, buddy?
Hi, good. Seems okay now.
All right, cool. Hey, things happen. You deal with them. You roll on.
Yeah.
So why don't we just jump off with when did you start selling online, and more so why?
The first time I started selling was around 2009 or so. I had a bunch of old PlayStation 1 games and stuff that I wasn't interested in playing anymore. So I started doing the research, and I had actually tried to sell them at yard sales for $1 and $2 each. And people weren't even looking at them because PlayStation 2 had just come out, and that was the hot thing at the moment. So I started looking up their value on eBay and saw that they were selling for good money. I was like, wow, if I can get $20 or $30 for an old game, why not?
For sure.
And one of the very first ones I sold was Final Fantasy VII, and it was the original release with the black label strip across the top that those have. And later on, they're released as greatest hits version, and they're not as valuable. But I got $75 for that one.
Wow.
And I was hooked after that. I'm like, if I can get that kind of money for games and stuff, then that's where they're going to go on eBay.
Good idea.
And then not long after that, my wife's brother died, and we inherited his stuff. And he was in his late 60s, and he was a lifetime computer repair guy. He had his own home workshop, and he had a lot of old computer games and stuff. So
nice.
Started putting those on eBay, and I was getting good money for those. And then as I started running out of products, I didn't have the capability to get to thrift stores and stuff. So I started looking into wholesaling and drop shipping.
So before you get into that, though, where were you living that you couldn't get to thrift stores, or why couldn't you get to thrift stores?
I was in a remote area on the big island of Hawaii, and the closest thrift store was about a 4.5 mile drive to get to, and I didn't have a running car at the time. And trying to save money for a car and get a job, get a good paying job, and I was having trouble finding work because I didn't have reliable transportation and stuff like that. So I was trying to make money through eBay sales, and product just started getting low, and I couldn't hitchhike to thrift stores and stuff. That just wasn't feasible.
So what's the brothers hoarder items on the island with you too? Same area?
Yeah, he was on the island with us, yeah.
Okay, so you had all that right there.
Yeah, I moved to Hawaii because my wife's family had moved over there slowly over time.
Nice.
So I moved there so that she could be close with her family.
So you sold through that, couldn't go to the thrift stores, and then what'd you do?
Well, that's when I started looking into wholesale products and looking up drop shipping and stuff like that. How to source products and stuff like that. And that's when I came across the term drop shipping on the internet. So I started getting into that and learning about it and seeing what it was all about.
Okay.
So for those who don't know what dropshipping is, I'll tell you real quick. You never touch the product. So your customers buy from you, but it ships from someplace else.
And it's a scary bit.
Yeah, it's a little, it's not for the faint of heart because you never have the product physically.
Right.
Yeah, you just have to hope that your supplier is sending the right products. And after getting positive feedback on a few and going through that, I was like, oh, okay, well, this is working out. I mean, the profit is not that great on it either.
Right. Very thin. You are brave. You are brave to jump into that.
So yeah, once I started doing the research on that, I noticed that there were places that you could pay for, and then there were other places that provided products for free. So, and then there were other places that would give you like a 30-day free trial, and they supply you with a limited number of products. And the ones that you actually pay for a monthly fee, they usually have the better quality products. They're more reliable and dependable, and you can pretty much count on them that they're going to give the customer what you actually ordered.
That's important.
Those are the ones that I started going with.
Oh, good.
And then I was actually doing really good and building up a following and everything like that. But then one day I saw this product, and it was a video game that was in high demand. And it was for PlayStation 2. It was the original Black Label release, as I mentioned previously, which meant it was the first release, and those are the ones that the collectors want. And in retrospect, when I look back on it now, there was a question mark.
Yeah.
That can't be right. It's so in demand. How could a dropship supplier have so many copies of this original release?
Yep.
So I called the warehouse. I sent emails. I said, is this the greatest hits version, or is this the original Black Label? So I had the guy at the warehouse check into it, and he got back with me, and he said that it all looked okay on his end. So I took a chance. I put some on eBay, and I didn't ask as high a price as what I could have, because I still had that nagging thought in the back of my head. What if there's an issue?
Yeah.
And sure enough, I sold 12 of them in one night.
Wow.
I woke up morning at $60 a piece too. And those 12 copies went out, and about a week later, I got the first message from the customer. Hey, I ordered the Black Label. This is the greatest hits version.
Oh, no.
What am I going to do? And at that point, I just had a feeling that if that was the wrong one, then all the rest of them are going to be wrong.
Yep.
Of course they were. And it turns out that the guy that bought the first copy, he turned his friends on to the listing, and they were a niche of video game collectors. So I handled them with kid gloves. They all got their refunds. I got all 12 copies of the game back, and I ended up slowly reselling them over time. But this, you see that? This is it.
You still have some? Oh, no.
You got the
one copy. And when I got all those refunds back, PayPal shut me down. And I opened up my eBay screen one day, and it was just a white blank screen.
Oh my gosh.
That you are no longer allowed to buy or sell on eBay.
So how many, so was it 12 or was it more than 12 that sold that got all?
Well, 12 copies that sold. And as soon as I got that first message back, I shut down the listing.
Oh, good.
And then, but during that time, PayPal had locked up my account, so I couldn't do any transactions at all. And I had like 15 orders for other products.
Oh.
So I called, what can I do? I still have orders pending. And so we have to use another payment service. And at that time, PayPal and eBay were, linked up.
Right.
I said, how can you do that? You guys are the ones that say don't accept anything except PayPal. How can I tell them to use another payment service? So I tried it anyway, and the customers were like, no, PayPal only. I'm not writing a check.
Yeah.
So I put all those other orders while PayPal, investigated all these cases that were pending and going on.
A nightmare.
And yeah, it started out with 180 days of a frozen account, and then it went to a permanent limitation.
Oh no!
So did something else happen? Why would it go from 180 to permanent? I mean, because you couldn't do anything. So what else could have happened?
Actually, there was another order that I had shipped of my own that I handled and packed and shipped myself, and it arrived broken.
Oh.
So in this part of the story, the luck was not with you.
It was nothing at all. So that.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, man, this is something that I handled and packed myself, you know, just what else? And, you know, that's when PayPal said, and it was a nice item, it was like a $65 item, but that was enough to put me just over the limit where PayPal said no. But when they looked into all of those pending transactions for the game, they treated me like I was committing fraud or something by providing a product that was not as described, you know, and just horrible. And I called them on the phone, and they were just rude to me on the phone. They were, hold on, let me check your account. Oh no, I'm sorry, no, you're done.
Wow.
No, there's nothing I can do. Bye. It's just like that.
Yeah. Which we appreciate, because if we're the buyer, we want to make sure PayPal and eBay are looking out for us. So see the other side of it.
They always side with, you know, the person that buys the item anyway. Or at that time they did. It's not nearly as bad as it was then because of the PayPal eBay separation.
Yeah.
I just created a much better environment for buyers and the customers.
So how many feedback did you have at this time, and about how much in sales did you have?
I had over $1,200 in sales from 2010 to 2011, and the year wasn't even over yet.
Wow.
But from 2009 to 2010, I was maintaining between $400 and $600 a month before.
Okay.
And the numbers were just going up and up. But like I said, the profit on drop shipping is not that great, because by the time you pay your supplier and the fees, you're only making maybe 30% of what you actually sold the item for.
And you probably get some returns too. So if you get some returns from your drop shippers, you pretty much kind of have to eat it, right?
Right, yeah. And so that was another thing too.
So what year was this? What thereabouts?
2011 is when I was finally shut down for good, when they said no more eBay, no more PayPal. So that's when I started looking around at other selling venues, and I found Bonanza. I tried that for a while. I moved all my product from eBay to Bonanza because they were accepting, like, you know, Amazon payments and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And I tried Amazon for a little while, but that was another beast all its own.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
So technical to get on Amazon. So then I reworked my inventory. I saw how much sewing patterns were selling for in the thrifting board group, you know, from other stuff. And being in Hawaii, I was always looking for lightweight items that weren't breakable, that could sell for a good profit. And I was already into Hawaiian shirts, because that
nice.
Being in Hawaii, that's what I was finding the most of. So those were easy to handle and ship and pack and all that stuff, and less than a pound. And when I saw the sewing patterns, like, well, I'm getting more for those than I could get for a shirt. So I started learning about, you know, what goes into selling sewing patterns. And so I got on Etsy, because Etsy specializes in vintage items. If it's 20 years old or older, it can go on Etsy, or if it's a craft or sewing supply.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's great. So I started going through all my inventory, and anything that was 20 years old or older, it was going on Etsy from that point on. And that actually turned out to be a better market than most of the others that I tried.
Oh, good.
Nice.
I wasn't maintaining as much as I was on eBay. It was about maybe $200 to $300 a month that I could count on with Etsy.
Well, you kept going. Boy, most people would have just said, forget it, I'm going to go get another job. But you kept going. So then we fast forward to 2017, and what happened then?
I got an email one day, and it was forwarded to me. It was funny because this thing that happened to me with PayPal, you know, there was a class action lawsuit in someone's email, and it was forwarded to me and said, hey, you might be interested in this. So I read the email, and it said there was a class action lawsuit taking place, and it had like a list of 5 different things. And it says that if any one of these things or more occurred to you between this time frame and that time frame, then you qualify to be a part of this class action lawsuit. So I was like, yeah, okay. 2 of the things on the list I qualified for. One of them was, if you had the PayPal account and were shut down without, communication or, a reason, stuff like that, the way they handled their customers. So I was like, yeah, okay. So I gave them the information that I had. A lot of my emails had been deleted at that time, so I didn't have the documentation that I was hoping to have. But it was enough to get on board with the case. And like 6 months went by, and I didn't think anything of it because, just that's my kind of luck. I'll probably never hear from them again.
Yeah.
And I got this letter in the mail. Oh, in the lawsuit, it said you could qualify for a settlement check in the amount of up to $2,000.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. So about 6 months went by, and I didn't think anything of it. I'll probably never hear from them again. And I opened my mailbox one day, and there was a check from the
for $2,000.
I opened up. It was $11.47.
Oh wow! Well,
that was my settlement check. But I was armed with ammunition at that point. I had a leg to stand on, and this was right around the time that PayPal and eBay had become separate entities from each other. So it's like, maybe I got a wedge. Maybe I have a shot. We can get back.
Right. Good for you.
Because still, say what you will about it, nothing against the foot traffic that eBay does.
That's right.
And so I still wanted to get back on there. It wasn't eBay's fault. It was my supplier's fault. So I couldn't be mad at them. So I called PayPal, and I told them about the class action lawsuit. It's been settled. I have my check. You need the check number, the case number. What do you need? Because I should be able to, have an account now because I won my case. And so they transferred me to a supervisor, and I talked to the supervisor, told the same story all over again. And then the supervisor transferred me to an overseer. Have you ever heard of such a position?
Is that like the Lord of PayPal? I'm the overseer. So, and how many overseers are there?
Yeah,
at least they were talking to you. That's good.
Okay, the overseer should know all and be all. So they got on the phone with me, and they said, and after checking all of the algorithms and data of my old account or whatever, they said, okay, here's what you do. We're going to put you in the system as, winning your case or whatever, and we're going to make a notation of that. You have to open a new PayPal account with a new email address, and then sign up with a new eBay account using that email address. And then they say you might have to call eBay and work out the kinks with them. So I did that, followed the steps, and then linked it up with eBay. And then I called eBay, talked with them. They transferred me to supervisor, went through that whole process again, told this whole story all over again. So eBay put a note in their system to let everyone know that, everything is kosher with this guy who won his case. It's all good. I said, if you have any problems, just call eBay, let them know, and they'll work it out with me. So that was the last 2 weeks of February.
Of 2018. This just
2018 that I was reactivated. And the first month of March is when the first part of March is when I decided that I was going to move back to Maryland to be with my family.
Okay.
And so I started selling out everything that I could not pack or afford to take with me and putting it on eBay. And I was doing so surprisingly well that I was able to quit my job that I was working 8 to 10 hours a day at, and moving back to Maryland. And I'm still selling with a very low overhead at the moment.
Nice.
So I'm still able to maintain good sales without having to get a job yet. And I'm hoping
congratulations. That's awesome.
You went
going up, yeah.
7 years.
7 years, or actually almost 8 years without
that is perseverance like I've never seen before.
And maybe once or twice a year, I would call PayPal on the phone to say, "Hey,
hey guys,
remember me?"
Here.
And they would check my account, and they would, "Oh no, we can't help you. I'm sorry." So I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Well, I gotta say, it was so great to read all that, and because there's so many times, look, like Debbie said, the platforms look out for the buyers in terms of if you're a seller who's being nefarious, yeah, you got to get rid of them. Sometimes good sellers, like in this situation, got screwed because of their supplier, and it happens. But man, sticking with it, finding out about that lawsuit was just a happy, lucky thing, and then getting back in, and now here we are. Let's show some of your scores. Boom, you're back and you're selling. So let's show some of your scores because you got some good stuff here. Now, where'd you get all these VHS players?
Oh, that was the DVD VHS converter. You could convert your VHS tapes to DVD file. Oh. And I wanted it because I love old tech, and I still have a bunch of VHS tapes because to me a good movie is a good movie. I don't care what format it's on.
Right.
So I found this video converter at a yard sale. It was brand new in the box for $50. They said they only used it once to convert their wedding video. So I bought it, intending on keeping it and never selling it. But when I decided to move, I didn't want to pay the shipping for it. I figured I could maybe find another one in another thrift store or yard sale once I got settled in Maryland. And when I looked up the value and saw that they were selling for $300 or more, I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
More. Bye. Nice knowing you.
Easy decision.
For, $340. And even after fees and stuff, it was like over $200 profit.
Nice.
Yeah, I just did a webinar on the Secret Beach on electronics just like this, and people right now, their heads are probably exploding. They're like, wait a minute, it's 2018. You can stream and download pretty much anything, and you're selling DVD VCR combos for over $300. What?
It's amazing.
I think it was the converter factor that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because they don't make them, and so when you have something special like the converter factor, you're going to pay a premium nowadays if you still want it, if you want that old tech. All right, so we go from that to a watch.
A watch, yes. I helped a friend out about 5 or 6 years ago, doing some yard work and around the house and stuff like that. And he had this watch, and he gave it to me. Said it doesn't work, but you can have it for all the help that you've done for me or whatever. Put it online and sell it or whatever. He said brand new. It was a Tag Heuer. He said brand new. They sell for like $2,500 or $2,000, something like that. But he said it belonged to his ex-girlfriend, and it no longer had any sentimental value. So,
oh.
And when I looked up the value for non-working ones, I saw that they were selling for good money. So I put mine up and got a message right away saying, I put it up for auction, and I got a message right away saying, hey, will you do add a buy it now price on this for $150? I said, yeah, okay. So I said, let me adjust it, and I'll be right back with you. So I adjusted the listing, added the buy it now price, and he took it right away.
Nice.
And it's in rough shape too. I mean, it's
it wasn't,
it's seen its day, man.
It's seen its day, yeah, but I guess everything's still there. He really wanted it. Because sometimes you get those messages and they don't follow through.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So we go from one watch to 22 watches.
Yeah, I was going through, but I had a 5x7 storage. I think it was 5x7, and I had cleaned that out before moving off of the island of Hawaii. And in this box that I pulled out of the storage unit, there was all these old watch bands and watch faces. I think they belonged to my wife's brother after he died. Okay. And I don't know.
Las Vegas.
He had the oddest things. He didn't throw stuff like that away. He always just put it in a box every time his watch. or the band broke, or the pin fell, he'd put it in a box. So I ended up with this big box of watch pieces and parts. So I said, well, let's see what I can get for a lot of those. So I put those up for auction, the starting bid of $22 or something like that. And I got 2 messages from 2 different people. The first one didn't state a price, just said, hey, would you consider adding to buy it now? And I was like, well, I messaged him back. I said, yeah, well, I would, but what do you have in mind? And he didn't get back with me, but within 5 minutes, I got a message from another guy. He says, hey, will you add a buy it now for $125 on this? I said, yeah, sure. So I added it, and then he bought it right away.
Nice.
So I was like, yeah, okay, I don't, out the door, bye. I don't need these broken watches.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, I feel like I should have let them go all the way to the end of the auction, since I had 2 buyers within 5 minutes that were so quick to want them. But I didn't. It's one of those things.
You got good money for junk, so that's not bad. Now, now I would probably look at this T-shirt, but I would not think $80. What?
Yeah, I just figured I'd take a chance. I found that. I think I posted that in a group about 4 or 5 years ago, and then I put it on Bonanza, and I put it on a couple of other places that I had tried out, and then I said, well, I still have it. Let me try eBay, because it's now a lot older than it was.
Yep.
2009, and here it is 2018 already. You know, that's quite a few years. I figured I just do it. It's nice hip hop design. I couldn't find a matching item like it when I did the image searches and stuff like that. They were all like brand new mass production types. So I figured $80 or best offer, and somebody offered, what was it, $57.95, I think it was, and I took it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love how our profit piles appreciate in value sometimes.
Sometimes, heck yeah.
And that one went to the United Kingdom. This hip hop shirt, and I'm like, okay.
Nice, well done.
Even over there, yeah. He goes, and he messaged me a personal message saying, "I love them. Thank you so much."
That is so awesome to hear that.
Yes.
Right, but just like us, not everything is a winner. You also got a couple duds.
Yes, I did. It was the first time it was a hard disk, the 3.5-inch floppy. I thought it was a Windows 98 install, but I sold it for $20, and the guy messaged me and said he kept getting error messages in his computer and wanted to know if I had the second disk for it, and I did not. I only had the one that I sent him, and I told him that I was very sorry that this happened. I had no way of testing it before I sold it. I should have, thought of checking it better somehow.
Yeah.
And you can keep it to redonate or just throw away, and I'll refund your money, and it's no problem. Sorry about that. And he said, okay, thank you. And he left me positive feedback. So.
Nice. Good customer service.
And then this is, whoops. I'm like, this is not your listing. Hold on. There we go. That's your listing.
And then what was the other one?
Yeah, the Pez, the monkey Pez.
Oh, the monkey Pez, yes.
Nice.
I found that discarded in the dirt at this old farmstead that I used to live on. My dad took me back there after not seeing it for over 25 years. And walking around the old yard and stuff, I found that little monkey Pez just laying there in the dirt. So I brushed it off and brought it home and looked up the value, and it was in the, $30 or more range. So I put it up for auction, and it sold for $38. And the customer received it, and he was like, hey man, this thing is all wrong. It's missing a little spring and everything. And I was like, I messaged him back, and I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm not an expert on these items. I should have checked it more thoroughly before I sent it. I'm not a collector or anything. So, I'm sorry, and I will refund your money. It's no problem. Just keep it for your collection, throw it away, or redonate it. And I'll be sending your refund immediately after, clicking send on this message. So I sent him, and he messaged me back and goes, well, I'm going to leave you positive feedback because you really handled this well. And and I'm one of those people that never leave feedback. So,
oh wow,
Nice.
see there we go. That ties into to the buyers that reached out to Debbie and I earlier this week. That is so cool.
so I was like, yes, we don't like those.
Yes.
So what's on agenda for this summer, Tom? Anything exciting? You got any plans? You going to any big flea markets? Any long garage sales? Anything like that?
I do have plans. There are a couple of posts that I clicked on that I'm interested in later on this summer. They around here in the country areas, they have families that get together and they have like the mile-long yard sale, and they set up in like this huge field that's already had the crops harvested or whatever, or like a baseball field, and it's just a huge multi-family thing, just all in a row with all their wares.
Oh,
And
fun.
really like a mile-long yard sale of, you know, people with different tables of stuff set up. And the thrift stores around here are just great, really awesome.
Oh, nice.
Cool. And how far are you from DC?
Probably about an hour's drive from DC.
Okay, because I'll be there teaching some classes in the fall. So
it's not too far. It's definitely a doable drive.
well, yeah, if you want to come on down, we're gonna hang out at the new Tiki bar in DC, of course. So I'll let you know the dates. All right, well, dude, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being episode 1 of season 6. That was such an amazing story of just sticking with it. Don't give up. That's the moral of this.
Just persevere.
Absolutely. Debbie, thank you for being my co-host tonight. And thank you
my pleasure.
So make sure to tune in Sunday for Selling Past Your Expiration Date, Being Thrifty Over 50, Father's Day special with my dad, Regan, Big Daddy. And then next week we'll actually be off because I'll be teaching the classes in Portland. So I'll be in Portland on Thursday and Sunday. But my buddy Blair, who owns BG Reynolds Syrups, part of the Tiki community, he does a Facebook Live in his group every Thursday night. I will be his guest next week. So for once, I will not be the host. I will be the guest. So I will get the details into the thrifting board, let y'all know where to tune in for that. So instead of talking about thrifting next Thursday, we're going to talk about cocktails, which we do a little bit, and Tiki stuff and things like that. So it should be a little bit of a change of pace next Thursday, but links and details to come. So thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. Thrift hard this weekend. Find some goodies. And we'll see you on Sunday with my mom at 7 p.m. East Coast, 4 p.m. West Coast.
Keep listening, everybody.
Keep listening and give us a thumbs up down below. And make sure to subscribe to the channel so you know when we're live. And with that, I will say aloha.
Bye-bye.